And we are. Oh, hold on. Muted. My bad. It's gonna make that noise again. I'm on YouTube. And we are live. Let's go. It's Dino Radio, baby. I don't know if you're watching the chat on YouTube, sis, but I got that opened up right now. And we are live on Facebook and YouTube, everybody. Sis, I got my Border Patrol shirt.
I love it.
Since I better go live on TikTok in a minute, man. I've been doing it every night this week, and I like it because I'm getting content. I get the whole live. It's pretty badass. TikTok's pretty awesome, sis. I get the whole clip. I download it, and then when I'm at work or have the chance, I'll clip up little parts and then post it on my Facebook and YouTube, and if I can, right? If it's not too crazy, and then I'll get more content. So, man, shout out TikTok. I'm doing big numbers on TikTok, on Facebook. It's pretty crazy. Really on YouTube, I ain't doing too good. I'm trying to drop some more videos over here, but I ain't gonna lie, YouTube is hard, sis. But I just want to come on here and speak to you, holla at our people, and here we are. What's up, Christy Maga?
What's up, Nino America? Just been living the dream. Helping some people out, having a lot. Me and one of the girls, Shandy, we're on the same time. I guess like time clock
Yeah.
because we're staying up till 3 in the morning talking on the phone, strategizing, planning, and just been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Shandy something else. She is basically everybody says she's the female version of me. My wife even said today that she was talking to her and we're both Aquariuses, right? It's kind of funny.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
I don't subscribe. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Let us know in the chat what y'all think. What's up, Paul? God bless. I don't really subscribe to, the signs, right? Because I'm a Christian. But at the same time,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes my wife will tell me this is what this is and that. Like, I guess she kind of looks at it, I guess, here and there, but she's not like heavy into it. But she's like, Aquariuses are known for exposing people, right? And then just me and Shandy are somewhat similar in a similar vein, shall I say. Anyways, we're live. And shout out Shandy, shout out Vander Ranch, everybody. We're gonna do a Vander Ranch live when we get the chance. We want to get all our ducks in a row because a lot of information has came out in regards to Vander Ranch. And I'm gonna be honest, is we got a lot of fire, a lot of how you say it, in the fire. What do you call it? Irons in the fire right now, sis.
Yep.
Uh,
We sure do.
that's why I've been kind of. I ain't gonna lie. I've been kind of slacking off on my content on my YouTube and some in the Facebook's going all day. That's my best platform, man. I'm got 55,000 followers. Thank you to anybody and everybody that's on my Facebook. But I'm my YouTube has kind of been struggling because I've been dealing with the local issues, sis. Plus, I work and I have my family, so I kind of got back into the swing of getting back on the content grind because Vander Ranch. I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of getting. I think me and my wife even said it's like we're like this close, y'all. I think Vander Ranch, something's gonna happen, sis. Sooner or later, it's gotta pop, right? So I was able to finally get off the local issues. Plus, we were dealing with the city, the county, and all this, protesting. And we've been in a lot of stuff. So I've been kind of my content's been kind of I've been slacking on my content a little bit. But anyways,
Well,
we'll talk about Vander Ranch in a minute. But go ahead, sis. My bad.
I was just going to say, I think that the thing that people don't realize is that it's not just like turning on a camera and
Yeah, it's a lot
saying,
more.
yeah, saying da 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 da. And I mean, like, you're really going out to Vander Ranch to these meetings, doing all kinds of different things. But then you have to edit, you have to get all that stuff done, and all like the behind the scenes things, like just me living in Florida and just like helping with the Vander Ranch stuff. I've probably put in a good 50 or 60 hours, like trying to look stuff up and help them where I can, and it's just a lot more to it than people realize. And I all the time I'm saying, like, I wish I had just even just a sprinkling of Nino's energy. I don't know how you get it all done.
Yeah, keep going, sis. Talk about another minute. I'm doing an audio check. Go ahead.
But yeah, so I mean, you're just always on the ground, like, and I don't know if at the beginning of the day before you start your oil hauling, if you know how many loads you're going to have for
Yeah,
that day, and then
it's
you're showing
crazy.
up at
Yeah, and I
yeah,
appreciate. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm the king of cutting people off. Says let's go. But you're
yes,
right
you
though.
are.
Like that's why I utilize you to a certain degree to help me with. We get so many. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. The message we get. we have a backload of messages from people, and it ain't always just like needing help. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I got some reports of some crazy activity happening at certain areas in my city. I'm like, man, I'm gonna go check it when I get a chance. Like, there's a lot of people that reach out to me. I told my wife, I'm like, I'm not like a I don't know. I don't know. They act like I'm a what's like what am I, sis? Like a fake
I don't,
Batman or
I don't
something,
know.
MAGA man over here or what? But they write me all kinds of stuff, all kinds of things that happen in the city, and I appreciate it, you know. But I'm like, yeah, I kind of like turn into in my city, kind of like I don't know what the hell I am, but they just message me for all kinds of stuff, sis. But the point is, there's so many messages that we have, y'all, and it's crazy. We are actually overwhelmed. I wish we could hire people to help us. I wish I could do this full time, but I mean, we got just the Nino America stuff, the fate, the
Yeah.
advocate. I mean, we got a lot of different situations going on and not enough time. And Christy's right, y'all. It ain't just filming a camera and uploading it, man. Especially whenever you're on multiple platforms. Think about making a video and dropping it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, 4 different platforms. You know, that takes a couple minutes each video to upload, minutes to edit, and then minutes to record. I mean, it's all in all, it takes a lot of time, y'all. And I'm not trying to complain about it. I'm just saying it's a lot of stuff. And then my buddy, my best friend, got a hold of me, and I'm fixing to edit a video for him for his daughter's graduation party Saturday. But you know me, sis, I'm gonna hand it to Stephanie. I'm gonna start having Stephanie do a lot of work because I'm gonna show her how to edit because this is too much stuff. But
Yeah.
we're gonna do a video for my best friend and for his daughter. You know, she graduated, so I'm gonna help him do that. He's already seen me like 8,500 pictures. You know what I'm saying? And then I got to put that
Um,
on the software. It's because I did another one for a person in our neighborhood, a respectful. You got my pantyhose, babe? Oh, okay. My bad. I'm getting my outfit ready for TikTok, y'all. My border patrol stuff, they're gonna get pissed. Oh, I got it, babe. Thank you. Thank you, my love. Anyways, uh oh, so we had an elder pass away in the neighborhood, and I ended up making the video for her, and my cousins were all coming over, sis, and they were all, you know, hurt. And it was a good time though because we got to bond my community, my cousins. You know, that was
yeah.
her grandma, and we made the video for you know, for her passing, and that's the people down the street. You know, that's the people that, you know, I'll go. You know, they would treat me well. You know, it's in my neighborhood. Anyways, but we were making the video for them, and man, we had like 200 pictures. You know, because all the family started sending you pictures, sis. Then we had songs. That video was like 2 hours long, sis. It was like a slideshow. I ain't never seen one like that. A slideshow with a bunch of pictures and
Yeah.
amazing playlists they all wanted. And man, my daughter, and my wife, they had to stay up working on it for a lot of hours because, you know, my cousins would come. Then they would start drinking and playing the songs and playing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we be trying to edit, and they're here watching. It was a crazy little time period. I don't even know why I'm saying this. I don't want to say too much about my people, but I would say that we did bond, and it was a sad time. But you know, I was honored to make that little edit for them. And then on the iPhone, since I can get it and share it on my big TV, so we could just be at the table putting all the pictures together on my software, and then I would mirror it.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah.
I'll play it on my TV so we could watch it, and then like I say, about third, fourth song there, everybody's just there, and it was pretty amazing, and I'm grateful that my people trust me with letting me do that work for them. So my best friend got a hold of me to do something similar for his daughter, but I'm gonna give a little bit of it to my wife so she can work on it. But he's already seen like
Yeah.
85 pictures. But like I said, the good thing about that video that we did, that memorial video for the elder in the neighborhood, is that like I don't know if you've been to a funeral, but it'll play like 20, 30 pictures maybe. This thing went on where you could just sit there and watch it, and it had like 200 pictures. It was pretty crazy
That's what we did for my
with
mom.
music.
Yep.
It was pretty
Yep.
crazy, sis. I ain't never seen nothing like that, and it's the first time I did it. Anyways, my bad for blabbering, y'all, but that's what I wanted to do on here. I don't get the most views on Facebook and YouTube right now when I go live, but I just want to get on here and holler at Christy. It's been a crazy week. We've been going through so much
Awesome.
just in my city, Christy, us, the team. We got a lot going, y'all, and I just want to get on here, kind of vent. And then I'm gonna jump on TikTok
Yeah.
and go do some videos or some interviews on TikTok. It gets pretty crazy over there. But anyways, what's up, sis?
Oh, Task just entered the chat. Hi,
Oh, what up,
Task. I
Tass?
have not talked to you forever. I hope you're doing well. But I was just gonna say, no, so whenever we were just trying to jump in because we were doing so much and kind of giving little updates of what we could and stuff like that. I have had, even on my end, so I can see the messages that come in of all these people asking us for help, like on your account. People have been messaging me privately now too, going, I need help. And there was this lady, and I can't say that she was ever really rude, but she kind of kept spamming the comments so that I would see her comments going,
Okay.
I'm tied in eh, into the same water
It,
as Vander. Why are y'all just only Vander? And I was like, we're not, we're just
yeah.
literally getting into this. When I talked to her, Nino, this lady is so freaking sweet. Um she is just like in her own home, has a well, but is
It's
under the same well advisory, the
see.
same everything. Yeah, and I told her that we are going to try to help everybody that we can.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we
I
are.
just like
Yeah,
saying that
Stephanie says
sometimes.
I need to follow you on TikTok. Yeah, follow me on TikTok, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, it gets spicy over there. It's pretty good because there's a lot of haters over there, and I go live and I get a lot of good clips. And man, I got my outfit tonight, my Border Patrol shirt I bought in San Antonio, and I know I'm gonna trigger them on TikTok, and then I use them clips, put them over here. Shout out Task. Amen. Hey, shout out homeboy Henry. I know he follows me on Facebook. Man, if anybody follows me on multiple platforms, I know Task been following us for a long time on everything,
A
right from
long
Instagram.
time.
Thank you, Task. Anybody, if you support me on any platform, I appreciate it. But if you support me on multiple platforms, I really appreciate that because it's hard to get your audience to follow you on everything. But someone said I need to follow you on TikTok. Stephanie, please do so. You want to see people don't like TikTok, but you want to see a Christian MAGA doing 100,000 million views? That's what I do. We didn't like TikTok at first, but I think it was kind of a way for them to censor. I don't know. I think it was a plan to talk down on TikTok, but I see a bunch of Christians, a bunch of patriots, Trumpers on TikTok doing hundreds of thousands and millions of views, and I'm one of them, right, sis? So we love TikTok. It lets you
Yep.
just it lets you go wild because I told my son, he's so smart. I said, man, son, on my YouTube, I only get like 500 views, 1,000, 200, 5,000 sometimes. I said, but on TikTok, every video, man, 20, 30, 70, 150,000, million views. And my son said, well, Dad, on TikTok, they show you the video, right? You don't got to do
Mhm.
nothing. It pops up. And he said on YouTube it's different. And when my son told me that, I was like, damn, son, you're a genius. He's right. On YouTube, you got to go and click it. If it pops up, you could click it and play it. But on TikTok, it just pops up and they'll watch it if it's good. So on TikTok, man, it's pretty crazy. I really like the TikTok algorithm and I do very well on TikTok. So people that think that TikTok's bad, I mean, let's be honest, y'all, they probably got our info on all these apps at this point, but TikTok does allow Christians and Trumpers like myself to reach a lot of people. You got to play by their rules. You can't just get on there and say whatever you want. You're on their platform.
Right.
But check me out on TikTok, y'all. We do big numbers. I go on my comments, sis, and I'm like looking at them. I'm like this scrolling it. 3,000 comments on one video. I'm like,
I know.
golly, you know,
I
it's
know.
different than Facebook and YouTube, you know. Anyways,
My,
go ahead,
you know
sis.
what? You would never think my sister, like who, she's really kind of the one that she got me a lot more in the political game than I had been. Like I'd always been conservative until I told you the one time that I went crazy and voted for Obama boy one time. But
Uh,
the very
hey,
first time he ran, I did. But
they said they can't hear me. If you can't hear me, hit the button. There has to be a button. I don't know. You got to be able to hear me. I think we're good still. Hey, shout out everybody. Amy's in the chat. We're gonna do a Vander Ranch live, y'all. I want to kind of do it tonight, but we didn't kind of get all of our ducks in a row, and I want to get the right info. But we're gonna have a Vander Ranch live. Probably maybe tomorrow we can do one. We get everybody lined up, and then we want to do weekly Vander Ranch videos and lives, y'all, to keep the
yeah.
pressure on them. I think we're this close, y'all, to getting some real progress. My bad, sis. Go ahead.
Well, it really doesn't even matter what I was going to say a minute ago because it
Damn.
was just kind of gibberish anyway. It was just that my sister, like, she was telling me to tell you to reset your goals, and she knows so much more about TikTok
Oh,
than I know,
I ain't gonna
and stuff
lie.
like that. Yeah, and she was texting me going, Chrissy, tell him to reset his goals,
Man, I ain't gonna
and
lie, y'all. Hey, Christy, you know we never ask nobody for money, right? Uh,
uh-uh,
but on TikTok, you can give gifts, and they're like a penny, right? But but the point is, I like it. I already know. Like when people try to give me money on any platforms, I told them, right, sis, keep it. I think Kim and Gail used to give me like $50. I'd be like, sis, I appreciate it, but man, you know what? Keep $49 for your kid, for your boy,
exactly.
and give me $1. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want nobody's
Yeah,
money on here, but you know she would do that, and I appreciate it, right? But I'm not. I'll never ask for no money. But the thing is, what I do know about the money is if you give money or support the content creators, it helps the algorithm because of course
it does.
they want you to give money. So on TikTok, I made like well, first live I made like 30, $40, sis. I told my wife, I said, damn, I said I can see how people could be on here all day and making money on TikTok. And
They do. And then what they do
yeah.
is the higher you gain in rank as far as like getting gifts,
Ooh.
they set up matches between like big influencers and this guy Sam Williams.
I haven't done no matches, sis, but maybe I should do one here and there.
Maybe occasionally, because it is what you said. It is expensive to do it, and I'll tell you.
Oh, let's tell the story. I'm gonna tell the story. Hey, Carla, God bless you. That's she's a subscriber on my Facebook.
But let me just tell you this part real quick.
Go ahead.
TikTok. So TikTok really doesn't want people to know this, but if you recharge outside of TikTok, you get like 70% more coins than you do if you buy it through the TikTok app. And it's called, you just have to like Google recharge TikTok coins or something like that, and it pops up. And it's a lot cheaper for people.
Hold on. What does that mean? First, I'm trying to work the chat and work here. So you saying you reach? Because I need to go give me some money in there too. Because I seen your sister back me up. I seen a lot of people give me money, so I want to do the same thing to them when they go live. But you said if you recharge, or say it again, Christy. Tell me again.
So like, okay, so you say like you set your goals for the roses, and that pretty much is costing like it says it's like 1 coin through TikTok coin.
Is that a penny or that's not a penny?
It's not really a penny. So what you do is like for $9.99, I bought 700. I got 700 TikTok coins.
Oh, so it's not a penny. I thought it was a penny.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't bad. Then if I ask for 100 roses, or I have the goal for 100 roses, it's probably not even a dollar. But I mean, the algorithm. But go ahead.
Yeah, I like how they do it, and it does push your platform out there and stuff like that. And like these big platforms that have been on for a long time now, like they have people sending down the biggest, and I don't know if it still is, the biggest gift you could send was the universe, and it was like I think it cost $400 just to send one of those to somebody.
I'm going to my TikTok right now. Hey, sis, I got a Galaxy, and I told my wife and my daughter, I'm like, and I got a Galaxy, and then man, my things are messing up over here. I said I got a Galaxy. I thought it was $20 or something. They're like, no, it's not that much. I said I thought that was a lot, but I mean, I don't really care. But to get a Galaxy, sis, I don't know. I thought that was pretty big.
I mean, Galaxy's a middle of the line one. They've got ones that
TikTok.
go up
I want to show my TikTok real quick, y'all, for everybody. Real quick.
And then whenever you're on there, show them like go to recharge or to wherever your little coin balance thing is.
I ain't never bought none there, sis. I don't even know how to buy that.
That's what I'm just showing. I'll show you.
Okay, so what do I do? Tell me right now. Tell me right now.
Okay, so like go to like you're just like your main page or whatever.
But look at my numbers, y'all. 84,000 followers, 1.6 million likes. I got 1.7 million on a video, 2.9 million, 50,000 for Shandy telling off at the courtroom getting kicked out. That's a local video, sis, and that one did big numbers. That I didn't expect that one to do big numbers. My last video like 15,000. I got 30K. I got 25, 150K, 150K right here. Terry Garrett has like 250,000. Man, it's crazy. TikTok is, I'm telling you, I'll get my phone and I just look at the comments, sis. I'm trying to approve. I even let the hater comment. I got to approve them. But I'm like this, sis. I'm like scrolling. My hand gets tired on one video, like so many comments, sis. I can't even believe it because I ain't gonna lie. TikTok, they killed the game. Anyway, so what do I do, sis? I'm looking right now. How do I find the coins?
Okay. Do you see anything like down? So for me, it's like down in the right hand side.
No, mine's on the left. I'm on the desktop.
Do you see a thing that looks like a coin?
Yeah. Hold on. Nope, I don't see nothing. It's different, sis. I'm looking at my phone. How about on my phone? I'm looking at the phone right now.
Yeah. And that's how I do mine. So like, anyway, whenever I have to recharge, so it gives you different packages. So let me just get on there too.
Well, yeah. If you can, let's make it quick. If not, sis, I don't want to be wasting everybody's time. Really, to be honest.
No, we can do it later. But whenever we go over to TikTok. But anyway, so like, for me to give you whatever, Yeah, I'll have to be on you with you live to be able to figure it out. So yeah, we
Yeah,
can
and
do.
everybody wants to find me, y'all. It's easy. It's Nino America or Nino America on all platforms. I'm on
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble. I'm on X, but really my best platforms are Facebook and TikTok and Instagram. I've got a pretty big Instagram page. I have like at 20,000 on Instagram, but they got me restricted on Instagram. That's why I stopped making content for Instagram because they limited my reach and for like 2 years. I can't grow no more. But man, I'm telling you, TikTok's something else, man. I really like TikTok as far as the reach. I mean, it pays really good. If you can hit a million views, it's like almost like $1,200, y'all, for a million views off of one video. You know, imagine if you can do a couple of them. So, anyways, there's a TikTok page, y'all. I'm gonna show you real quick. I'm glad y'all saw that. Thanks for bringing it up, everybody. Anyways, let's get back to our other stuff, sis. So,
So these
what's up?
Samantha so we have some Vander Ranch people that have never really followed us or listened to us before. And Sam is Samantha. I hope she didn't mind. I called her Sam, but she just said that they just got another notification the water is going to get shut down here in Greenwood.
Yeah.
What an inconvenience! My husband won't even be home in time to shower. And could you
It,
imagine coming in off the oil field
oh yeah.
and
Well, I was gonna. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I was gonna say I posted it. When did I post it? I have a post here, talking about pray for Vander Ranch. Well, I wanted. I kind of had an idea for the show. We'll continue, but I'll show you in a minute. I made a post when someone said at 8:30 cut off their water. Was it yesterday? The day of the protest? And they're like, "Damn, are they trying to get back at y'all?" Anybody jumping on here, even for the repeat? What we're doing is Vander Ranch, the community in Greenwood. Greenwood is in Midland County. They're running out of water, and I actually have another video I want to play here, y'all. This is a problem that's happening across Texas, y'all, in East Texas. We're trying to actually get the interview with the woman. I would like to get it with Chad Cook, the Chad Cook band. He plays that song "Oil Man," sis, and he's the one that I first saw was doing it.
yeah,
They're tagging me in his video on on Instagram. But guys, this is a play. They got foreign investors from God knows where
mhm,
coming into
yeah,
Texas and getting these water wells and taking our freaking water, everybody. It is
yeah.
freaking this. I think we're on the maybe we're late to the game, sis. But I'm gonna be honest. I think we're actually ahead of the curve, especially out here, right? For where we're at. Let's be honest. Greenwood and Vander Ranch been dealing with the water for a while, but we're starting to ring the alarm, y'all, that we're running out of water, and people
Yeah.
are coming and taking our water, and it's freaking crazy. Anyways, here's Shandy, y'all.
Water crisis.
Oh damn, my bad. I'm messing up over here. Let me figure this out. So here's Shandy. Let's go through my feed, y'all. My bad, y'all. Check me out on all
And
platforms.
I want to
My
say
bad.
something whenever we get a chance. So we have a lot of people, I guess, that are kind of just now popping up
Yeah.
that are from B&D. If you need help, VC, anybody that wants to remain anonymous absolutely is allowed to remain anonymous. We don't give anybody's name out that does not want their name out there. That's the reason we also do, where people do interviews where they call in, they don't want to show their face because of, working in the community or whatever. But the easiest way to reach us is Facebook. And it
Hey,
would be, go
go ahead.
ahead.
Go. Well, we got Rick right here. I don't know if Rick wants to call in. He got news from the M-Cut. I kind of wanted to do. Well, that's what I was trying to do earlier, sis. But we didn't. I guess we didn't get a hold of nobody. We're trying to do a live for Vander. If Rick wants to call in right now, we can get him on. Since you want to get his number and call him three-way. I don't know if he wants to talk right now and give an update. I mean, it's probably best and get it. We can get it and we can clip it for later. But if get a hold of Amy. Get a hold of them, sis, and see if Rick wants to call in. If we can call him on three-way and we can line it up. But go ahead, sis. Finish what you're saying. My bad.
So the best place to reach us, as far as like just getting your story out there, me being able to give you a call back and kind of get the information for Dino that he would need, to plug into a story is always going to be just on Facebook because he has given me access to like his messages on
Oh,
there.
well,
And
there's Ricky. Hey, sorry, sis. There's Rick. Sorry, hold on. He called me directly. Rick, you there? Hello.
Hello, how are you?
hey, Rick.
Hey, Rick.
Hey.
So you're live. I'm sorry. I was trying to give y'all's own live, but I guess I was waiting on the info. But anyways, let's do it right now. We can even still make a post later. Rick, introduce who you are and what's going on.
Okay, yeah, this is Rick Chittum, one you've seen quite a bit out on Nino's post and all. I just letting you know what attended the meeting tonight at the Midland County Utility District. They have a plan.
What?
They've got a plan. It's they've got water. They're building out a plant. the for to whatever you call it, water treatment plant. They're going to have to build out infrastructure, and yeah, it's going to take a bond. But
Okay.
it's an infrastructure bond. It's not a let's go build a building at college so people can come together and look at each other. But anyway, they're sending out tomorrow. They're going to be sending out letters to Permian Basin Water Resources and tell them to cease and desist.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
So Rick, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, Christy. I gotta ask some questions. This is some breaking news right here, y'all. Go ahead, Christy.
So do you feel like that, like with what you heard tonight? So I know Shandy and I were up at like 3 o'clock this morning, posting things and stuff like that. Do you think that even with everything that they're going to do, that there's still too many developments that they're trying to get? And
that's part of the letter that's going out. Is telling Permian Basin, and they're sending it to PUC and the TCEQ to tell them not to let them expand their services. Of course, we know we all know now that they did it without any permission anyway.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I have made a formal report both to PUC and the TCEQ over that, and over them admitting that in their hearing under oath. So it's sworn testimony.
Oh, wow.
And hopefully they will, these two agencies will get off their ass and do something. I mean, bottom line, but MCUD has got a plan together. They're going to be posting it back out there. Should be hearing more and more about it over the next few months anyway, and see how this goes. I mean, we may have get this area taken care of.
So what's gonna happen with the sewer?
And Nino, that's with your help. Sewer, that's a different issue. We're going to have to work through that ourselves out here. We're still it's in the process, but bottom line, we got to get these guys out of here before we can fix anything anyway.
So Rick, let me break this down. So you go to the meeting, right? And it's on the agenda. What, number 6 or line item 6 or 7?
The number 7 or something. Yeah.
Okay. So you go there, and what happens? Can you give me the play-by-play? You walk in there, you speak, obviously.
Well, actually, I was late getting there, so I didn't get to speak before the meeting started, so I had to sit there and listen to it. They got to that on the agenda, came out and said that they have already written the letters. They just needed permission from the board to send them. And board voted permission from to send the letters, a cease and desist letter to Permian Basin Water Resources, Park Water, and Greenwood Water for that matter. Also a letter to the PUC and the TCEQ telling them that they are operating outside of their boundaries and that they don't want them to award anything. They said they're going to try to step in and help with us on the rate increase deal so that we can get that permanently stopped.
Yeah.
Basically, I didn't have anything but good news come out of that meeting. Wow. I mean, the only bad news is we got it. There's anything costs money, and they're going to have to do another bond election, and that's coming in November. It's a process to get water, take care of Park and Vander Ranch area, take care of all the areas that they've overexpanded into, which would take care of the Greenwood and the Cheney Ranch, Greenwood County Estates.
Yep.
All of those areas.
So someone's asking about that. They said the water in Pecan Grove is always being shut off. It's a daily email notice saying the same thing. Is that going to affect Pecan Grove also?
Yeah, that's part of Park Waters where they're operating outside of their area. So yeah, they'll take care of that too.
So basically the greater Greenwood area. So Rick, you're saying they're going to give them a cease and desist letter, and that means that, what does that actually mean?
They're going to tell them cease and desist any kind of expansion, any kind of building, which means these new plats that got passed the other day should be rescinded if the county will. I'll leave it alone with Terry Johnson. I'll take everybody else what I think about him. But anyway, if the county will do their job and bring those plats back in and void them, they're not able to operate and build out in those areas. So we can take care of that. But all the areas that they've already operating in, they're going to talk about eventually taking that over. Bottom line, our goal is still to get rid of park water, Permian Basin water resources.
Yeah.
And my deal is however means possible. When I am meeting with an attorney next week for a class action lawsuit. And hopefully they'll take us on. If they take us on, we'll be back on trying to get everybody out here to get them signed up and get everything going on a class action too.
Okay, Rick.
That makes me so happy.
So everybody that is in anybody that's hooked up to Parks Water, can they be part of the class action, or is that just for Vander Ranch?
Should be. No, anybody that's hooked up to Parks Water should be able to sign on to it. I would imagine everybody on the Greenwood water system should be able to sign on to it if they want to.
Rick. So when you mean cease and desist, so that doesn't mean that So what does it mean with Parks? So they're MCU's going to take over? Is that what you're saying eventually?
That ultimate goal is MCU's going to take over. That MCUD wants it. That they're talking about buying them. What I understand, Trevor Hill and Gang,
they're going to buy them.
Well, they talked about buying them, but if I think we can help them out a whole lot faster if we can get them into bankruptcy. So I think we can get them there.
Okay, so let me ask you. So Rick, when you heard this news, because you're really the one that's spearheading this, you've been dealing with it for so long. How did you feel? Is this what you? I mean, I don't know what else could be done, right? I mean, is this good enough for you and the people in Greenwood?
As long as the people in Greenwood to back it up, I believe it's the only way we're going to be able to get rid of these guys and take care of the problem. Like I said, we know that their plant, their water treatment plant, they can sit here and talk about wells all day long, which that their wells are going dry. But the actual cause of the issue is they don't have enough storage at their plant for the water that they're sending out in the community, so it drops below their levels. And that's the reason they're having to cut off water overnight to fill those tanks back up, because they don't have enough storage capacity to hold the amount of water they're sending out. So,
wow.
So, Rick, so I guess y'all are gonna have to just tough it out till they get the infrastructure.
We'll have to tug it out till they get the infrastructure. But the actual infrastructure with the meters and stuff's already here. So it just
that's good. That's good news.
Yeah, it's good news. It's real good news.
It's really good news. It is.
And I thought it was kind of odd, and I guess he's trying to be transparent, but that guy joined the Greenwood Uncensored page. He's part of MCUD, and he was saying this is really someone from there. I saw him answering a lot of questions. I think he didn't answer some, but that was kind of interesting to see that he joined the Greenwood page, correct?
Yeah, like I said, that's the first I'd heard of it, and the first I've seen. But like I said, when I saw that on the agenda earlier, and I went, well, we got to attend this meeting and see what this is about. And put it in lightly, they don't have any what's the word you want to use? Any goodwill towards Permian Basin water resources at all either. So they feel like they were taken advantage of.
So you said they are going to address, because people were asking about the payments per month. They're going to address that and hopefully fix it or lower the payments. Is that accurate or not?
Well, hopefully they're going to intervene in and help us make sure they don't go up. And then when they take over, they're saying that our water rates will drop. And then, I sat down with this, something I did before when they had the original bond election, and they came out and said somebody did some kind of calculation and said in 10 years my taxes were based on my house, and I did the little calculation to be like, I'm thinking it was like $1,200 and something, and I sat down and figured it up. I said, hell, that's cheaper than what I'm paying in water. That actually put money back into my pocket, even though I'm paying higher taxes.
Oh, right. So you're thinking if they do pass the bond, it'll be $1,200 a year, correct? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that they're saying in 10 years, and the bond actual tax increase will not go in effect for 3 years.
Oh. And
after that, it'll be a gradual tax increase, and they'll be paying off debt back and forth. So it's hard to pinpoint exactly what that's going to be. But, at maximum amount, they had somebody figured out what the maximum amount would be and stuck it on there. And then everybody thought that's what you're going to pay in taxes starting immediately. And it's not. That would be 10 years if they don't pay anything off and don't pay anything else. So it's hard to figure your taxes.
Okay.
So I got a question for you real quick, Rick. Do you think once the water infrastructure is taken care of and the sewage finally gets taken care of, do you think that it is going to be a nice development whenever all those things are finally done? Or do you think everybody, as soon as they can, is going to like tuck tail and run and get what they can? Yeah.
I think it'll be as good. I think what will, the bottom line is that they're in control of everything. And if we can take the money flow away from them, and the money flow is the water and the sewer, but it's more the water. If we can take the money flow away from them, we'll get control of the HOA. If we can get control of the HOA, we can build everything out here that we want. So,
yeah. And Amy says another shut off again tonight. It sucks. I hate to hear that.
Just got the notice. Yep, just got the notice.
But you know what? Let's be honest. I mean, something like this is not going to happen overnight, right? I mean, it's going to take time.
It's not going to happen overnight. The water treatment plant that they're building, they said it won't be completed until April of next year. So you got at least that long anyway.
But the good thing is, let's be honest. I mean, they could have not had no meeting. It could have been no results, right? So this is actually
going to be no results. Exactly right. We could have went to it and wouldn't been nothing going on. So at this point, they've got a plan.
Wow. Well, Rick, that sounds great. I don't know if you want anything else to add, or Christy, any other questions, but that's good news.
Yeah, that's good news.
Yeah, we just knew. We just knew whenever Shandy and I were on the phone, it was 3:00 my time, 2:00 a.m. her time, and she sent me this stuff, and she was like, "You have to get this out now. Like, I need you to get this stuff posted." And it showed, of course, Lori Blong and a bunch of people saying that 2.5 billion was being put into. Help me with this, Rick, so that I don't like.
That's been put into the Texas something fund. That's a new law signed by the governor. That's something that MCUD did talk about tonight. And they're going to try to get some of that money.
Okay,
but they can't get the money. They can't get the money until they actually have meters online. So,
right.
So that could cut down on what some of the cost is and stuff like that too.
So Rick, that bond that they're passing out, I guess statewide, that is in effect Vander Ranch in a positive way, or Greenwood, right? It's for the county too.
It could. Yeah, it could. Yeah.
Wow.
It's only available to government agencies. So MCUD is a government agency, and
okay.
So it's only available to them. So Park Water can't itself go there and get any of that money, which is the best thing we can do.
Yeah,
glad about that.
Wow. Well, that's great news, Rick. Anything else you want to add before we end the call?
No, but I'm going to talk to the people with MCUD and see if they won't come on your radio station or your podcast and talk about this in the future. So,
oh wow, heck yeah! I think that guy's probably open for it. From what I've seen him commenting, he seems like he wants.
He's done. Yep, they're open. And,
wow.
They're willing to come talk, and they're going to start. I think you're going to start seeing a blitz kind of campaign, getting out there, pushing everything out here in about another month and a half, something like that.
No, it gives me such hope.
Yeah, but I
there's hope. There's hope, but we're still going to stay on them to get those guys out of here.
Hey, Rick, I got to ask you, because I hear other elected officials always talking about a bond and even the last bond, but this bond is going to be different than the last bond they were trying to push. Am I right at least about that part?
I think it's going to be about the same, but I think they're going to tell everybody about how it's actually going to work. I think that was the biggest issue before, is they didn't do enough advertising and enough explanation. And they didn't come out there and say, hey, we're going to do this and take care of Permian Basin water resources and take care of this and take care of that. And they're now going to say we're going to do that. So,
well, let's be honest. I would rather them say that or put that in writing, right? And we could see it because they could have just passed another bond and even left y'all out, probably. Who knows, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. That was part of the problem. So.
Wow. Okay. Well, Rick, we appreciate your time. And if you need anything else, let us know. And God bless you, Rick.
You too. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Rick.
All right. Well, he's off the line. Wow. Good news for Vander Ranch, y'all. I know. I understand too. It sucks having these water shutoffs, but man, that's good news. I mean, that's what we wanted. Some kind of progress. I believe Vander Ranch is going to get it. Parks Water, y'all. I mean, eventually, hopefully they get them out. But cease and desist letter for any new developments. I'm glad they stepped in. Nobody else would do it. I'll leave it at that. But Christy, that's freaking good news. We were actually waiting for the news, but I think we were waiting for Stan to comment, and Rick barely came in on the radio or on the show and said this. This is freaking great, right? Go ahead.
It is. It absolutely is. And so, and I knew something major was happening by the excitement that Shandy was showing at 2 o'clock in the morning, y'all's time. And she was like, we got to get this pushed out. So I literally think I had one eye open and could not even think of who all I needed to like
Yeah.
tag in the post and everything. And was just, I put out the picture of what Greg Abbott said that he was going to do. And she was like, this is so huge. But I think that she knew that there was going to be more stuff to add to it. So we got that part out there. And I think that with Rick and everybody, Amy, Ashley, Shandy, everybody that's just been so awesome that, that we're just going to be able to pull together and that we'll be able to help them get everything fixed. And I hope that the lady that I have had so much contact with that lives in her own home and has been so upset and was like, I don't have a whole community around to help me. It's just me, and my husband. I hope that this will help her also.
Hmm. Yeah, I hope so. Well, I think it actually is. It's going to take some time, and I don't know. I don't want to talk bad about nobody. I ain't gonna lie. I heard some things y'all today. I'll say it right now, Christy. They warned me. I was warned today by someone that knows someone that said, "Man, you dealing with the evil man."
I'm
Hold
telling
on, hold on,
you,
sis. Hold on, sis. They told me, Nino, you are dealing with an evil man, and they told my wife, you better tell Nino to be very careful because this person, the stuff that I heard, sis, today, and I'm not gonna repeat it unless I need to, but the stuff that I heard, sis, from this very personal contact of one of our foes out there. Man, I mean, I ain't afraid of nothing, but
mm-mm,
they told my wife, tell Nino, be very careful. This guy plays dirty. He's evil, and he tricks everybody. They thought he was a good person, but man, this
mhm.
person has a personal connection and saw a whole nother side of this person. They said they're actually worried for me, and they told my wife, please tell Nino to be careful with this person because this person is a evil person. They know this person, sis. And I ain't afraid of nothing. But when my wife told me this, I was like, yeah, I knew it. I could tell when I hear them talk how they play the part, how they speak. I ain't dumb.
Mhm.
I know a shyster and a devil when I hear one, and
Absolutely.
that's what they told me. Sis, tell Nino to be. I'm kind of glad because now Vander Ranch getting kind of taken care of. I really don't want these problems with these big wigs, y'all. But I'm gonna tell you something about Midland, Odessa. I got another message. I can't even say half the stuff I know, but I'll say what I want. Right? Somebody told me today, sis. They said, Nino, Midland's worse than Odessa. And this is somebody plugged in. They say, and that's saying something. We thought Odessa's bad, Midland's worse. And then these people are telling me, well, I'll leave it at that. I'll just say, y'all, the stuff we're dealing with in this city, it is freaking crazy. The stuff that I know that I haven't said yet, I'm just gonna say this. I didn't plan on doing this. I didn't plan on being some kind of a, local political exposer or whatever the hell I am. But
Sounded like a Superman
I don't even know. I'm
yeah,
just saying the info I get and how strategic I gotta be with this info until I'm ready to release it. I'm telling you, it's in a shock West Texas, y'all. But like I said, it's I'm not gonna say borderline. It is very dangerous. We're dealing with a bunch of powerful, rich people in Midland, Odessa, y'all, and I'm talking about not millions, billions of dollars. Everybody, we messed up.
hmm
We messed up Midland College's bond. You saw they wanted $450 million. They didn't
yeah,
expect that, y'all. That's a lot of money they lost. And
yep.
we stopped their damn plan with that Midland College bond, and that's some powerful ass people, and that's all I gotta say. And I'll leave it at that. Go ahead, sis.
I just have always said that it is. I tell the. I'm just going to make this really short.
Amy wants to
So I
speak.
talked.
Amy wants to speak. Call her in a minute. Go ahead.
Okay, so I've talked about my father and how he was so connected into the city that I was born and raised in, and you did not hear of hardly any corruption and the corruption that I have seen. And so then, I live not far from Tampa, which is a huge, huge, city, and but the corruption that I have seen through your eyes looking into Midland is something like whenever I say that there is times that I just like literally go into prayer for hedges of protection around the people that I love and care about. I have a lot of friends and family, I feel like, now in Midland and, Odessa, that I've met through you and all of that. But yeah, these people are, whenever you start messing with like big money and stuff, it gets crazy.
I'm telling you,
And
I'm telling you, I don't want to keep harping on it, but it's like me and my wife are just laying, we're just like, just kicking back in the bed. The dogs are all in there earlier, and we're just talking about all this stuff, and we're like, we can't even believe it, but we knew it was here, right? But I never really looked into it. I mean, I did it in the city, I did things here and there, but really like going against these people, learning their connections, learning all the nonprofits, these people, I'm gonna tell y'all, everybody, this is freaking crazy. This. And then they all protect each other. My wife went and looked around. We all dig, and
mhm,
y'all go look at these comments and who's commenting and liking, and
yep,
it's like the same people. They're all connected. And then certain people tell their employees, "You better not say nothing. You better quit posting or sharing Nino America." Then they get fired or whatever. Like if they can have a grip on their employees like that, y'all.
yep,
That's why they don't. That's
yep.
why nobody speaks up. Thank God, I got my own company, right? But these powerful people have their thumbs on people, y'all, and they're all connected. I'm telling you, you can take it how you want. They're all connected, and it's every department, and they all have lunch together. They all see who's commenting on Facebook. They see
Yep.
who's the troublemakers, and they even tell their employees, "You better quit sharing that, Nino. You better quit sharing Midland Street News. You better not be like." I'm telling you, and they tell them.
I'm
I'm just saying they're basically keeping them censored, and that's why the corruption doesn't really get exposed as quickly, right? Because the Bible says what happens in the dark will come to light, but that's why the corruption don't happen that fast, because there's a lot of people that depend on a check, and they work for these evil bastards, so they can't say or come out and speak like they want to. But
so
little,
here's what I'm
little,
going
hold on,
to
sis, little by little, it's coming out. Go ahead.
So what I want to say about this is I haven't even talked to you about this, just because before I even did, I still want to have all of my information. You know me. Like whenever Nino says that something has been fact checked by Christy, like it is 100% legit. Like there is no shortcuts, there's no Snopes, there's nothing like that. Like, so I have got some big information, that I am going to be presenting to you, that what they didn't expect, though, is they didn't expect the little army that we have become and how we have all forged together.
Yeah, don't say too much. Don't
And
say too much more though.
I'm just saying that I've got a lot of information to get to you, and that whenever I posted this, that it wasn't like to be funny, it wasn't to be, taken in any kind of like satirical way, that we don't unalive ourselves. and
I don't even
and
like saying that, sis. That's like bad luck. I
yeah,
don't even want to say that, but
yeah, you didn't, I did. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
go ahead and call. Go ahead and bring up Amy, please.
Let me bring Amy. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
Who's this? Who talking in the chat? Hey, Manuel Jimenez, do something about it. My personal number. You want my number? 432-217-0709. I'm in Midland, Southside Midland right now. Do something about it. Manuel Jimenez, you freaking lame. 432-217-0709. I'm off after tomorrow. You want to come talk to me? Come talk to me, Manuel Jimenez, you freaking lame. Don't play with me, boy.
Nino, Amy, are you here?
What up?
I am here. Hey, Nino.
What's
Hey,
up, sis?
Christy.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
how are you?
How are y'all
So,
tonight?
pretty good. So, we'll cut to it. You heard the news, right?
I heard the news.
But,
Unfortunately, you guys know my phone's going off
okay.
nonstop all day, every day. So I wasn't able to hear everything that Rick spoke on, because I was in and out. I know he spoke about the update with MCUD, which is great news.
Yes.
Moving into the right direction. I don't know if Rick spoke. Our work in Greenwood is not done by any means. And what I would like to express to our community is to pay attention to how our local officials have responded to this and how they've
Yup.
disregarded our community.
Big time.
Um,
And
there is,
let's not, hey, Amy, let's not even say no names. We're winning, but go ahead.
oh, I'm not. We don't need to say names.
True.
They've exposed themselves.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
So there's no names that need to be said. But clearly we've had people that are looking to come into new positions that have showed more interest that those that are currently there. It has struck in a nerve within our community because it's been said time and time again, this is just 4 people complaining. This is just 4. And it's not just 4. Half of Greenwood has been experiencing these water shutoffs and bleached clothing and all the things. And to disregard that, there's some people that maybe 4 have been more outspoken on the issue, but there truly is an issue here at hand. And to completely disregard and discredit that, you're disregarding your constituents that voted you in. And instead of name-saying and defending yourself, you should have been defending the people. So I'm calling on the community of Greenwood to pay attention to who we have that's coming in and vote wisely. I think this is a situation where a lesson can be learned. And I think that, again, our work is not done. It's great news. I'm glad that MCUT is bringing attention to the situation, but there's a flip side of this too. And I think everyone is pretty much in agreement with Greenwood and ongoing development. We've got to get ahead of this. And if the current elected officials aren't going to do that, then we need to bring in new people that will listen, pay attention, and do what's needed for the community moving forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think that so much light has been shed on everything, and I think that we're starting to see the results, and it's going to take time now. But I just know that, we were all put together to make this happen, and look at what's just being done already. So,
we are so we are absolutely so thankful for you guys, for everything. And
I told some, I think in one of the chats that y'all are all family now. I think maybe it was Marcy I told that. I think I told her that by text message earlier, that y'all are all family now. I feel like that we just, have all come together as a community like we should. And even though I'm in Florida, far, far away, I feel like I'm just right there with you all through it. So,
and the fact that y'all have had, it just breaks my heart because you guys are not in the Greenwood community, and we're willing to take on the task to bring light to the situation at all costs, and to be attacked, and for me to sit back and watch you guys being attacked when people within our community, myself included, came to you asking for help, and just completely disregarding that and attacking you guys. I want to apologize. I'm so sorry that you guys had to go through that.
Yeah, it's all good, but I want to be honest. In West Texas, we're going to be looking into that. That's what a local elected official said. That's not a big deal. The same one that's been berating us. He said that the DA, that's not a big issue, but we beg to differ. But back to Amy. Amy, we know they attacked us, and all we wanted was for results for Vander Ranch. I even told Chrissy, I said, I don't care. I don't need to be thanked. I don't need to be in front of the camera. I don't need nothing. And our message needs to be not to defend ourselves against these scumbags, but that we want justice for Vander Ranch. I kept saying that because in the end, that's what matters. That's the message that we wanted. I don't need to get on here and have nobody defend me or me defend myself. I just wanted
I'm going to.
Well, I understand
whether
that.
You like it or not. I'm going to.
I'm just saying though, but it's sad. But I'll just say this though, and not really in defense, but just to tell the truth. They get on the radio, right? That's what I said earlier. They're all connected. So I'll say the mayor When we called her out, the next day she gets on the radio on Case Mail and starts saying that we want 15 minutes of fame. Then we call out another fraud and he gets on Case Mail the next day and
Mhm.
berates us and says the same thing. We want 15 minutes of fame. It's kind of funny. That's what they say about us. We want 15 minutes of fame. And I've said it before. If I wanted to be famous and have big numbers, which I already got big numbers, I wouldn't talk about Midland or Odessa or Greenwood. Nobody cares about Vander Ranch or Greenwood. I'm not being a jerk about it. I'm just saying people in the United States don't care. They care about stupid things, right? So for them to say that I wanted 15 minutes of fame off of my own people down the road, how disgusting is that? But I actually believe they pulled that card to discredit us, to tell everybody that we're over here trying to use people to get this clout and fame. And even the fraud Sheldon Riley from Elevate Church, that lame boy, go look at who's liking his post. He's out basically saying, right, Christy, we saw his sorry ass over there basically saying the same thing that another scumbag was saying. They're all in cahoots together, y'all, trying to downplay us and say that we're trying to do things to go viral. That's not how it works. We didn't do this to go viral. I don't want to go to Vander Ranch, to be honest, y'all, and be out there till 9 o'clock recording and doing interviews. I'd rather be at the house on the couch. But like I said, you got all these frauds, scumbags, money hungry, pastors too. They want to sit here and talk bad about us for going and standing with the people. You're right when you said it earlier, Amy. That was perfect. Instead of this person, this elected official, instead of him coming and meeting with the people, he'll go to K-Well and go talk crap about us and about y'all. Why don't he go to Vander Ranch and go talk to y'all? No, he wants to get on the radio and defend himself and talk crap about us. Ain't that crazy? Go ahead. Sorry.
So I want to say this. So, I have, Shandy told me last night, she was like, Christy, she said, read that to me. So the elected official that you're talking about blocked me, but she said, you need to screenshot that. And because I literally was as nice as I could be for me. And I guess sometimes maybe that's not that nice, but literally was asked, what do you want from me? Like, what more can I do? And I said, go talk to the people. Just bring them into whatever kind of meeting room you need and sit down and listen to what they're going through. Look at their kids that have burned skin. Look at their clothes. Look at the E. coli that is in their backyard. Look at the arsenic. And everybody keeps playing this arsenic thing down, and it is so serious. It was the old school way that people took each other out back in the day, because it builds up over time and it becomes toxic. And so, the other thing that I just want to say is the radio station that allows people to text in, I please hope that y'all use discernment with any text that are coming through there that's saying that Nino and I or anyone are getting paid by anybody to do any of this. I have not received 1 cent from one person from anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that Shandy said that is a way that they're going to try to discredit us and all that. I said, Nino will have a way to shut that completely down, because I can tell you one thing about Nino. 5.5 years, he has never asked one person on here for money.
I work for my money.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, hold on. I got to interject something. Allison, neighbor says, just make an effort. That's all we wanted from these people. But the effort they made was to go to K-Well and berate us and try to basically how do you call it when they try to just make you I don't know the damn word. Anyways, discredit us. My bad. But shout out West Texas Patriot. He got a very telling comment. This is right here, sums it up. We want accountability in quotations. It says, we want accountability. They deflect with 15 minutes of fame. Shaking my head. They are they are getting exposed for not taking care of the very people who voted them in to do so. Just like the mayor, just like the county judge, we just wanted accountability. We wanted some help. And the next day they go on K-Well and they go say that we want 15 minutes of fame. Ain't that crazy? That's like a move. Anyways, I don't want to keep harping on them, because you know what? We done won. We're winning. So I don't want to keep bringing them up. But that's all I got to say. They want to get on the radio and berate us for helping the people and then say that we want 15 minutes of fame when all we want is help for our community. Go ahead, Amy.
Well, I'm looking forward to moving in a positive direction for our community. Yes. I think we're going to get the right people elected in those positions this go around. I'm hopeful. I think that this has brought light within our community again as to who truly cares about Greenwood and who's going to listen. I think it speaks volumes that MCUD has decided to step in and intervene. They're willing to speak with you. They're willing to speak with the people. Again, our work is not done. We're going to continue to push forward. I mean, clearly, as everyone has stated, this is not going to be an overnight fix. I mean, our water shut off again this evening. There's still a lot of work to be done behind the scenes, a lot of discussions to be had, and a lot of people to go vote. And I hope that they'll choose wisely in doing so, whether it's for our elected officials, this bond. We have to start thinking about our community, not just for now, but for the future. And right now, the direction that we're going it isn't shining a bright light futuristically. When we have a company that's shutting off our water and development is just continuing to occur. So I'm hoping with the right elected officials and MCUD being involved, the right decisions can be made to progress our community to what we're known for, the greatest in West Texas. That's what we're known for. That's what we are. And this should have never happened. And I will not stand for that being taken away from us.
Well, you know what?
So I'm excited about the future and what I think that the Greenwood people are going to speak.
Well, you know what? I think you're right. Let's be honest. Maybe this was a learning lesson. You know, maybe people got exposed for a reason, and God can use a rock, right? But maybe they got exposed for a reason, for their lack of, sympathy and empathy for their voters, and maybe that happened for a reason. Maybe we'll learn to watch who we vote for. Maybe we'll learn to watch these companies that come in and just buy up all this property and do all this development. Maybe it was for us to have a brighter future, to go through this. I mean, the best thing we can do is learn from this debacle and move forward and continue on a positive journey and make sure it doesn't happen again. So, I hope this is going to work out good for Vander. Again, like Christy said, we're connected with Vander Ranch, and I think, really, like, what else can we do at this point? It's going to be, I guess, a bond. I really don't like bonds, but I would rather have a bond for y'all.
Oh no, there's going to be, like I said, there's still going to be some discussion and things that need to be addressed. And I'm hoping that those conversations will be had because we need immediate relief. And right now, in my personal opinion, we've got the front door and the back door open. We got to close it. This isn't just a free for all, and we can't just continue to add to the problem. We got to stop, and give MCUD the opportunity to get the infrastructure in place and catch up with the development that has came to Greenwood. And I think that's their plan.
I think that y'all need to demand transparency. Definitely we always talk about what's in the dark will come to light, but I think that from this point forward that, you demand transparency, you want to know what's happening. And that's the thing so I haven't seen Allison in quite a while. I just said hi to her on Facebook and she said, "So proud of you, sis." And it's because people know, like, I'm an emotional creature. I am as tough as a bag of nails, but at the same time, whenever I see good people that are hurting, like, my heart hurt for y'all. I remember that I was standing at the kitchen sink looking out at the swimming pool as I was filling up the dog's water bowl and literally got tears in my eyes thinking how I was taking all of that stuff so for granted, and that you have people that have to come in out of, the oil fields or off of whatever job they're doing and can't even take a shower. And even whenever you're not under a boil advisory, it would have to always play in your conscience, what am I putting on my skin right now? What's really, what are they really doing? And so I just hope that you get a whole bunch of transparency and that we can just get everything lined up where,
I do too.
Well, I think
tonight I was packing my daughter's clothes tonight, and it was really sad. I didn't notice it until this evening. I literally just bought her a new shirt, several new shirts, but one in particular, not even 2 weeks old. It's been washed once. I pull it out and I'm like, "Hey, we're going to pack this." And it's bleached. And I'm like, and even my daughter, she was like, this is ridiculous that we can't even wash our clothes without this occurring. And I think that we've lost sight of that. We're talking about all the water shutoffs, but I mean, the bleaching of the clothes and the water quality. I mean, it's not about just not having water. When we do have it, the quality hasn't been there. So,
and I think,
but I think that we're going to continue. We're going to continue to, you know, have these discussions and talk to the right people and hopefully find resolve in all aspects.
And I think the transparency is going to be there because let's be honest, well, I'm going to say it's lightly because dealing with our local elected officials and government, they ain't transparent. But I would think with MCUD, especially with a guy, I've seen him kind of speak in the group, in the Greenwood group there, but I think it's going to be better at least than Parks Water, right? At least the transparency, because it is going to be a government entity and they can't just run rampant and wild for the most part, like I said, because our city and county, they seem like they do what the hell they want to do, right? But I would think it's going to be better transparency than Parks Water. So I think it's a good solution. I mean, I don't like bonds, like I said, but I do like something like this where y'all are going to get this situation fixed. And let's be honest, this is something I do agree with the scumbag that we're going against. It's going to take a lot of money to fix this. I mean, it's just not going to happen overnight or, magically, so it's going to take some money, but I'm glad that, they finally paid attention. I'm going to be honest. I think we had to force their hand finally. I mean, how many protests, videos, and people got to call out and, this actually could have all been avoided, and I'm pretty sure somebody could have got reelected real smoothly, and it would have been a great photo op, if they would have came out here and helped the people instead. And again, I don't want to keep going back to this. I'm just saying, how stupid could you be?
It's frustrating, though, Nino. It's frustrating.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, how stupid could you be that your people are hurting and you go out there and just I mean, this person made it so easy for us to use all kinds of clips and videos just to show what kind of person he is. But I'll leave it at that. We're finna get ready to end the live. Amy, final words. Go ahead.
I just want to let our community know that the whole purpose and goal with everyone that's been involved behind this is to make Greenwood great, keep
again.
It great. And famous words of Donald Trump.
Let's go.
We just want to continue to keep Greenwood great. And again, we are a great community. And, this shouldn't have been allowed. And it's happened. It's here. But we're collectively acknowledging it. And we're on the path of getting it fixed. And I feel like our community needs to see there is a glimmer of hope. But we have to trust the process. And I think that's huge for us. There's been so much misleading for those that are on this water system. They've been misled. They've been told that they were going to receive things. So they're guarded, so building that trust back within our community that we are all united and standing together for a purpose and for the good, I think is very important. So I just ask and call on the community to trust that and know that there's a lot of hands on deck. They're aware. And also it's still going to take our community to pay attention to who is actually putting forth effort to correct this and give them a little grace. I sit back and I think about how my family and so many families were misled, and who knows how many others have been misled at the ears of these people. So we have to give grace in that and trust that it's being recognized that there truly is a problem, and we are coming up with solutions to get it fixed. And that's really all I have to say. And just again, thank you to you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing who comes forward and wants to speak to you as information unfolds to us.
Oh, and we're going to still be pushing our content. I honestly think we should be, doing interviews, speaking to people, and exposing more, stuff. So, anyways,
and it goes back to what you have said for so many years now. It starts locally, and do we want it to be something that is like as hard as this is, with people's health and all of that. No, but everybody in the community should have things that they want to work on. And I agree so completely with what you said about having those. We just need to keep pushing out locally and figuring out what's next needs to be fixed in the community.
Well, and I'm going to be honest, Amy. This might even help others. I mean, you helped them because at first they were mad at you. You didn't even want to speak up. You did so.
Yeah.
Now y'all getting results. And think about it. You're giving us more work to do, sis. To be honest, but I mean, now, right? Think about it. Think about it. This happened with a lot of cases we work on. You're actually helping build the trust in us as citizens, right? Which you're part of us. You know what I'm saying? We're all in this together, but you're building trust in people like us that people can come to, right? So imagine someone else has a problem and they say, you know what, I remember Amy, I remember Vander Ranch. Maybe we can go to Nino and Christy and them and see if they can help us. So you're actually helping a positive snowball for the whole community of West Texas. And it could even be worldwide because y'all's videos got a lot of views. But the point is, you're actually helping us, be entrusted more by the community that we can get results, right? And we'll go out there, we'll do it the right way, we'll be polite, or we'll go down there and we might be a little rude. We're West Texans. I mean, we want things done, and we're gonna hold these elected officials accountable, and we're gonna speak up. So you're actually helping others.
And I've seen.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Nino, but I've seen a lot of comments. I don't know about tonight, but in the past, and I know that a lot of people have been reaching out to y'all frustrated, saying this is a Vander Ranch issue. Why are y'all only speaking on Vander Ranch? We live in Greenwood. We're experiencing this issues as well. This isn't, a Vander Ranch issue. This is a community issue. And the intentions is to help everyone within our community, not just Vander Ranch. And a lot of people felt that they were being oversighted, and all the attention was on Vander Ranch because they were experiencing these issues as well.
Yeah.
And Amy, just like with you and Nino was talking about how, you were scared to even do a phone interview, that you were just the difference in your anxiety level from 2 weeks ago to today is completely different. Like, you could hear like the fear in your voice, the emotion and all of that. And it's got such a positive lift to it now that, just think we've only been dealing with this for 2 weeks, where we're going to be in 2 months.
I've been dealing with it for 4 years, Christy, 4 years.
I know. No, I'm just saying where we're going to be though in 2 months from now and 2 years from now, and how many people we're going to be able to help. And I'm just really proud of like that you were just like, I'm going to do this. And for some of the small things you do too, that, you fed everybody at the protest the other day, and you're just an awesome human. And I'm glad that we all hooked up.
Amen.
Correction, I did not feed everyone at the protest. I fed specific individuals at the protest.
Well, you fed somebody. That's all that matters. All right, Amy. Well, God bless you, sis. Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys.
Okay.
And we'll be in touch.
Okay, have a good night.
All righty. Bye-bye. Bye.
Hold on 1 second, Nino. I gotta.
Yeah, get her off. We're gonna start bashing people. Oh, we're gonna get our get backs. Oh, we're gonna get our get backs. Just wait.
Yeah.
No, but you know what?
Hey,
how stupid can you be though, right? Someone even said, I think, who was it that said in the comments right before election season, how stupid can you be?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be honest. You don't have, like, my wife gives me good counsel when I'm going off the rails sometimes, and I take heed to my wife. How stupid can you be? Well, I heard. Anyways, I ain't gonna talk about how evil people are. I'll leave it alone. But I'm gonna be honest, sis. But it's election season, and this is how you do your people. And it's honestly like I don't want to say a God thing, right? People say that, but it's like crazy how they introduced this big old bill with Abbott for the water, right? A couple during this week, and then MCUT steps in, and then it's election season. Like I said, it's like it was all destined to happen like this. You get out there and you talk all this crap, and boom, the floods just come in. The problem's getting solved without your freaking help, and you did this at the wrong time that you could ever do this in your whole freaking career. How dumb can a politician be, sis?
And it's the truth.
Damn.
I mean, it is what you're saying is just such the truth. And whenever like everything finally gets exposed, people are going to be like, their heads are going to be just like spinning around because I've never seen people that have felt so untouchable before in my life. And it's, I'm glad. Here's the thing is people reach out to you, Nino, and I have finally figured out exactly why it is. So most of the time people, are like, Nino's way too tough talking for me. He's not a true Christian. He's not this, he's not that. And after they hear your hard messages, they start saying this dude is telling nothing but the 100% truth. And the thing is, they come to you and they ask you because they know that you fear no man. And you walk into those meetings, the commission meetings and things like that, and will stare any one of them down and
See,
speak
in the
your
whole
truth and need whatever needs to be said, and that you fear no man in that room. And that's the reason that they hate to see you coming.
I'm telling you, just the whole aura, the whole energy shifts when I walk in the room. I ain't gonna lie, and I could tell. And not saying that I'm big and bad, but I think all of us have energies. I'm not trying to be.
Shandy,
I ain't trying to be weird, but I think all of us have energies. When we're in the rooms, you're in the room, someone's in the room, with the mayor or whatever. We all have certain auras and energies that are undeniable. And I already know when they see me. Well, you saw the video of Shandy when that lame boy, when that freaking bastard saw me walk in. Boy, he was like this.
yeah,
His
and
jaw
he,
dropped, sis. I saw that video and she's like, man, when you walked in, he was like,
yeah,
oh,
she sent that to me. So I told you that we were like on the phone forever. She said, "Watch this," and it's the same way that the city attorney looked at you whenever you walked in that day. And yeah, they see you coming, and so everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, is that a drone? Is that a drone?" at the protest. And I said, "Yes." I said, and they every single time have it flying right over Nino's head. And I said, I don't know if they think it messes with the quality of his like communication or whatever. I said, but his stuff is top notch anyway, so they're not going to be able to do that. I said, but they fly directly over Nino every protest.
yep, you're right. But like I said, like I told my wife earlier, I don't want to be keep
Mhm.
even bashing K Well, but screw K Well and Craig Slanderson. I say what I want, because to be honest, it don't really help our cause when we just sit here and name drop them and talk about them, and like I'm not gonna obsess over them. But I told my wife earlier, we got to move on. We got other things going on, because I'm gonna lie, some of our people, they freaking can't stand Slanderson and all these people, and they want to just keep nailing them. And I told my wife, I said, not me though. After a while, I want to move on. I get them while I'm at there. But if I want to, I'll make a video. If I want to say their name and drag them through the mud, I will if I want. But I'm not gonna just keep harping
So,
on them and just they stay stuck on them. You know what I mean? But screw them.
absolutely.
They show me
And
they show me who they truly were, and I will never deal with them. The mayor and all them, they want to have I'm gonna say right now, they want to have a private meeting with us over the signs they stole from us. And I told my group, I said, hell no, I ain't gonna meet with those tyrants. I'm not speaking to them, and I'm not doing no private meetings with the mayor for stealing our freaking signs. I'm not dealing with those scumbags. That's what I said,
nope,
sis. I'm not playing these games with
nope,
these people.
not
I want the
ever
mayor. I want the
do
mayor
that.
voted out. I want to get
Yeah,
Mary
yeah,
Blanc. I want to get Mary Blanc voted out of that position.
yeah. So what I was going to say is that, and that goes with transparency. Absolutely, would never hold any meeting behind closed doors
Hell
with
no.
any of
You know me, sis. I want a camera and I want a microphone and I want to live stream it, baby.
Absolutely.
Straight
Yep.
up.
So I've got a serious question to ask you, and then I've got just a real funny little thing to tell you that I told everybody that was on kind of like a mini group chat type thing. But so they say that no good deed goes unpunished. So I do not know what I have done to my phone, but my alarm clock every day now goes to Craig Slanderson and his voice as my alarm. I
Oh, you're
literally,
being punished.
I am, and I have tried. So definitely don't want to do a factory reset on my phone. I have tried to look like through my alarms if it's there. I tried to see if I could delete, like if I had some app or something that had that I had to like downloaded whenever I was listening to them and stuff like that. Every day I hear his
Ugh,
voice,
okay, let's
and
move on. Says I'm
yeah,
having nightmares. Anyways,
yeah,
there.
exactly. No, the other thing I want to ask you though is so, and this is serious. Whenever people come to your wife and come to her with like messages that she feels like are really important about your safety and stuff like that, does she worry? Does it like make her worry, or is she like, Nina, I'm just gonna tell Nino, and he's gonna deal with it however he wants to.
See, I'm gonna tell you right now. Me and my wife, we done been in shootouts, sis.
Yeah,
So you know what? I'm from Southside Midland. We've been through.
enough said.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you right now. Back in my day, when we would go to any events or parties or whatever, my wife already knew park the car in reverse because it was all I was always into some ish when I was a young kid. Till now, sis. You know, I got my head out the gutter finally, but we're used to this, sis. For real, we're used to some heavy stuff out there. You know, so this is nothing new to us. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. This is different than dealing with the cholo gangbanger that hates you because you got a MAGA hat. This is different than beefing with the people on the other side of the tracks, right? This is different because these people got power. These people got money. These people got influence, right? So my wife does. She don't really worry about it, but other people are really worried about it. I'm telling you, when they call my wife and they're like, man, for real, Nino needs to watch out with these people. They are evil. I'm telling you, my wife, she takes heed to them and listens and conveys a message, and we talk about it, but we're not dumb. We've been through many crazy rodeos like this, but maybe not like this with these kind of powerful people. But my wife really ain't afraid. I mean, let's be honest, we're Christians. We don't fear no one but God. We're not trying to be tough and extra holy, but we already know what the Bible commands us to do is to not fear these evil things and put our faith in Christ. So that's what our foundation is, right? So she's
yeah,
not really ever like worried, but she is somewhat concerned, right? Because when you get enough of these messages and they tell
yeah,
you,
yeah,
about these people, and I'm
yeah.
gonna say something. People think that I don't know what they think about me. I really don't care. But Christy, you see the inboxes, the stuff that they write us about certain people and the connections they know and how they're man, some of their own best friends and workers tell us everything. We
Yeah.
know a lot about a lot of people in West Texas. They just all come to us and tell us everything about these people, y'all. So we hear a lot and we know a lot. And there's a lot of
That's
things.
the
There's a
reason.
lot of things we can't prove right now, right? Shout out to RIP Dan Corrales. But I'm just gonna say this, y'all. We hear a lot of things about these people.
Yeah.
And sis, this was never my plan to be fighting with the mayor and all these people in my city and exposing their sorry carcasses. But I guess I'm gonna do it. This wasn't what I wanted to do, but here I am doing it. Christy, you got to go. Final words. Go ahead.
I just knew. So I kind of made a joke earlier saying, I wonder if like Jesus shook his head when he said, "Oh wow, I put these two together to like try to." Because we have just, your family is my family. I am like loyal to the end, ride or die for you, Steph, your kids, everybody.
Amen. Same here.
But yep, and I just know that we have made such change, and that Amy called me earlier today, and she was like, Nino doesn't like getting pats on the back for stuff. I said, no, he does not. I said, I have I have notebooks full of information that I could tell of the things that you've done for people that you have said. If I do this, it's never is said, and I'm just like, for single moms, for Christmas, for many, many different things. But I just think that we are just growing in strength with showing what we can do and the changes that we can make.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think that we are just headed kind of with the advocate. We're like, where is this taking us? You and I talked about it. I remember us being up on the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning, whenever everything was happening with Madeline, rest in peace. And like, where is the advocate, and where is all of this community stuff taking us? And it kind of happened that I got sick 2 years ago and had to leave work and things like that. But it gave me more time to research stuff. And I think that this is why I think because we're meant to do this.
Mm. We're meant to do this. I wish we could get paid to do this. To be honest, hey,
I know, I
hey,
know.
I'm not saying it's about the money, but I'm just saying, like, damn, I'm just saying,
But
imagine.
we feel dangerous.
I say, imagine if this was a full time job for us instead of doing so many other things, right? Like how much we could really get done. But I ain't tripping. I work hard for my money. Been working all my
I
life.
gotta say this. I gotta say this real quick. Thank you, everybody on Facebook that is
Thank
giving
you.
stars. Rich just gave 200. He gave 100. Marcy gave
Oh, thank
100.
y'all.
So, I think so, I don't. I thanked everybody that I could, and then the super. We will never ask for money, but it does help push our algorithm out. Even if it's just like 5 stars that only cost a nickel or whatever,
Yeah.
then it just helps push those numbers out. But we are so thankful to
Thank
everybody,
y'all.
and
Amen.
we try to help as much as we can.
And we're here, y'all. So again, appreciate y'all. We went a lot longer than we wanted to. I actually wanted to go on TikTok, but I got to get ready to go to work and make some money. With that, Chrissy, thank you for joining me on the live. Stay on, sis. I'm gonna hang this up. But God bless everybody watching, y'all. Christ is Lord. Follow us on all platforms. Follow me on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. Shout out my boy Rich. That's the brother. I'm gonna have him on the platform pretty soon. We're on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, IG. Just look up Nino America. With that, we're out here. You're an American. You're a Christian. You got faith. You got grit. Christy.
Act like it.
God bless y'all.